Is your reference track Pink Noise? Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. I'm feeling a tiny bit better, but nowhere near close to actually going to the studio, making music. Everything still hurts and doesn't feel really good. So we'll just stick to something simple and quick and short, and that is another Q&A. First question, how do you work with vocals in an EDM house song? Do you finish the song, then start working with the vocals? Do you have a specific vocal already finished that you put in the song? It really depends. A lot of people for the more club-oriented music make first instrumental, send it to a singer and songwriter, and they write something to it. I personally prefer doing sessions and doing with the singer and songwriter everything simultaneous, because this gets me a better result. But I have to admit, in the past couple of sessions I've also learned that the songs, when I then start producing, change too much and the vocal sometimes doesn't fit to it anymore, because we basically recorded it more to an instrumental that is more stripped down and not stylized and doesn't have the right sounds in it. So I think I will from now on like have a draft of a song or multiple drafts, and then with the singer-songwriter pick one of them and then do the writing to it and then finish the production. So it's back, forth. I think this way you just get the best result. But at the end it's just down to whatever works best for you. If you're short on budget and time, then maybe just finishing the instrumental and sending it to a songwriter is probably the easiest at the beginning. Number one tip to get more plays on Spotify: you either do playlist trading as it used to be on SoundCloud with repost trading. You could pay someone to do it for you, or just make a good song, a song that people re-listen and the algorithm will pick it up, will recommend it to more people. If they like it as well, will get recommended to even more people, so it's actually quite fair. When will you update the Q&A and track submits title screens? Soon. It's on my to-do list for now over 4 months, but I'm still waiting to finish the studio completely to then film it when everything is done. I already got a couple of ideas, but yeah, as soon as I have time. Have you ever been to Tomorrowland? And no. If not, would you go? Yes, 100%. I would prefer being able to DJ there than just going there as a guest, but this might take a couple more years. How long did it take you to get your first gig after you started DJing? I think just like half a year, because back then not everyone was a DJ, because DJing actually involved skill, because you really had to beat match without anything measuring the BPM, and you had to buy vinyls and you had to buy record players and a mixer. So there were like just maybe 6-7 DJs in my hometown, and I got connected with one of them that took me to his gigs, so went pretty fast, actually way easier than nowadays. Should you move to Berlin for DJing techno music? Yeah, that's really up to you, very personal, but yes, Berlin is a great opportunity, especially for the more underground techno kind of music. There is a huge scene, which is a big advantage. You can connect really well. The one downside is there's way too much partying. That's also why I moved away. I couldn't really concentrate on making music. And another downside, since there are so many other DJs, you usually get way less for DJing. So DJing in Berlin is usually just like a third of that what you normally get. Which feature would you like to see improved on a future Logic update? There's not really much, because Logic is at a really good state right now. I mean, yes, all of the updates to the graphics stuff, there's still some plugins that are like 15 years old just from the graphics. And what I actually would love to see is, I mean, you have like this one button where you can make the waveforms of audio files bigger and smaller. I would love to have something that is like an automatic normalization, but just of the look of the waveform. So you hit that button and all of the waveforms pop to like the max, but just in the view, not actually doing anything to the audio. Because sometimes if you slide it and make the waveform bigger, it's so big that you don't see anything, or if you make it smaller, it's just like too tiny to see anything. Like something that automates it would be really cool. Can you be successful at both making EDM music while also making YouTube type beats? Yeah, sure. I mean, there are plenty of people doing multiple things. A lot of the big EDM producers also produce for pop artists. So just do whatever makes fun, and maybe just pick different artist name for your different kinds of projects to not confuse the listener. What do you think of the Denon DJ Prime 4? I haven't checked it out yet, so I can't say really anything, but just like from the feature list, it looks pretty good for like an all-in-one system. Is your reference track Pink Noise? Yeah, sure. Should you only send unreleased music to labels? Yes. If you send them a Spotify link with your music, it's usually immediately not interesting for them. Do you think your latest releases are more pop or EDM? I don't really know. It's somewhere in between, and it depends on the song. For example, Moment is again more into an EDM club direction, and the song with Julia, I don't know. It's its own kind of style. How much time did it take for you to start producing good tracks? I'm still trying. Good tracks, I mean, if with good tracks you mean something that is good enough to be released, I'd say around 3 years, but then it's still not really good, so never ending story. What is your best tip to new producers? Maybe do it because you enjoy doing it and not necessarily for the fame and the money and the bitches and whatnot, because the likelihood of that happening is very slim, and if you don't love what you do, you won't be able to go through with it. Usually most people that start making music, after 2-3 years, they usually give up, either because life's taking them another route or because they just lose interest. Because like producing music is really all about training, focusing, gaining experience, and that's just something that takes a lot of time. If you think you can start producing music and within a year be the next David Guetta, that's probably not going to happen. I think David Guetta is really a bad example because he's not doing anything himself, but you know what I mean. Are you feeling good today? Yeah, somewhere in between. Last question for today. Which pair of monitors do you suggest in a very tight budget? I would go for the Yamaha HS8M. That's the newer version. I have the 80M in my studio. I produced with them for 10 years and they're totally fine. And also the KRK, I think Rocket something, I think the 7-inch woofer, 8-inch woofer ones. Those are usually the two best entry-level monitors. Okay, anyways, that's it for today. I will just go back onto the couch and do nothing. I hate that. I hate it, but can't change it.